What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Eb and Bert Show. Today, we are talking all things Mortal Kombat, and we're going to touch on the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Before we get started today, Eb, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a beautiful, glorious day here in the Pacific Northwest. So it's a great day. Look forward to having a conversation about all these fun things that I've definitely watched,
That I have, I assure you, I watched them. I promise.
and hopefully I've retained what I've watched. This will be a new thing for me.
So, just so everyone knows, this episode was supposed to go out about a week ago, but Eb and I decided we really needed microphones. We needed to up the production value a little bit. So, here we are,
That is
new
true.
mics
It
in
was
tow.
horrible. It was horrible. Sorry, guys. The audio was crap. What are you gonna do? But we know now better. I feel this will be a little bit better this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't tell everybody about the whole 45 minutes we just spent trying to make the microphones work on Zoom.
Old people problems, Bert.
Hey, old people. All right, so let's talk Mortal Kombat. Before we get into the movie itself, what is your relationship with the franchise? Did you play the game when it came out? Like, are you into it or no?
I think everybody was into it back then, which was a long time ago, I suppose. When you're playing it in the arcades, those who remember actually playing video games in arcades. I did play the game. I thought it was a very difficult game. I preferred watching other people play it. I was the dude hanging in the background watching other people dismember the characters in the show, not the
Okay,
show, but in the video game. So I did play for sure, but I wasn't a super fan. I was more playing like NBA Jam or something like that.
got it. Okay, man, I played the shit out of this game when it came out. I was a big arcade kid. I had a Camelot Golfland was about a mile from my house.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so I would always ride my bike down there. Got about $5 worth of quarters. That's how I got really into fighting games. Was I figured out if you were good at fighting games, then you could make your quarters last longer. So I would be sitting there. I must have sat in that arcade for 6, 7 hours in a day, just trying to learn the moves. And I was this big
Oh,
nerd
like
who.
$5? Just off like $5?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's after about a month of like really trying to play the game. And I think the first time I ever played Mortal Kombat, I had already been playing Street Fighter, so I was pretty good at that. But then all the kids who played Street Fighter moved to Mortal Kombat. Because remember, that had the digitized actors, so it was real people versus Street Fighter was like cartoon characters.
Totally different scenario, and especially with
Yeah,
the graphics for sure. Yeah.
and it blew and there was so much blood. It blew
So
people away.
so much blood. I mean, you watched to see what their special move was how they were gonna obliterate and dismember the other character. I mean, that was the fun part of watching that game.
Yeah. And this is pre-internet, so or I mean there was internet, but I didn't really have it. So we would all sit there and try to figure out what the fatalities were, and then once we figured it out, we wrote it down so we knew how to do it.
Oh, you actually wrote it down?
Oh yeah.
Dude, hardcore.
Yeah, we brought like post-its to the arcade so we could learn all the moves and write them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Ah, what a different time it was. um, so yeah,
I was a button smasher, so I didn't have the patience to write things down or remember them. That's why I was never good at Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, because it always seemed so complicated to get to that ultimate move. But that's what you wanted to do, was the ultimate move. But I,
yeah.
I just was like, no, I mean, I got to learn something. I have to like do 10 different things, just do this one thing. It
No.
didn't interest me.
Yeah, so I played pretty much every single Mortal Kombat game up until about when they got to double digits is about when I started losing interest in the franchise. Or
Okay.
it's not even so much I lost interest, I just didn't have time. I was playing Street Fighter, I was, playing other video games, working, relationships, but I've always held it close to me. The 1997 movie, I really liked that one in all its cheesy glory. Like I won't tell you it's a good movie, but it knew what it was and it was fun. And that's good enough for me.
Well, if I only I could remember it. I mean, I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it. I did some prep research about other Mortal Kombat movies and cartoons, feature cartoons that have come out, or even I think there's a short film as well.
Yeah.
I did some research, a little bit of research on that. I remember Raiden not being what everybody thought Raiden should have been in that movie. But outside of that, I can't remember. But I have a feeling, even though I don't remember, I know I've seen it, that it was better than the new Mortal Kombat movie.
All right, so let's get into Mortal Kombat 2021. Anything is better than that movie.
I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say anything.
No.
I wouldn't go.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, there's a lot of horrible movies out there that just blow your mind with the ineptitude.
Yes.
And you're like, why am I watching this? This is horrible. So I would say I didn't think about that every second of this movie.
No.
I would not. I mean, I would, for me personally, the first 5 minutes of this movie were great.
Oh man,
I was sucked in.
I was in.
No, they had me. 5 minutes in, I'm watching. I'm like, oh, there's a story here. I really like the cinematography. The acting was good, and I'm like, wow, this is not something I think I've ever seen for a movie that I didn't expect to have this much depth. So it definitely brought me in right away, and I was very interested to see what was going to happen after that first opening sequence.
Sure. Unfortunately, the deep end of that pool is about 3 feet long. and then you get into shallow waters from there on out.
I just wish I wonder if they just had a different director for the first 5 minutes. I kind of, or they just blew their wad with their best actors in the beginning, but then they gave him a mask the rest of the time, so you can't see his face.
Yeah.
Which is his character. I get it. That's fine. But the main character, there was just no interest in this guy. He's this fighter, right? He's apparently had been a champion at one point. And now he's not good anymore for some reason that we're never told in the entire movie.
Yeah.
That he was once great, and then something happened, and he wasn't great anymore. He had lost his confidence somehow. And the movie never delves into that part of the story. They never delves into why he's not a great fighter anymore, what happened to bring him to the point that he was at that moment. So I felt that was a pretty good failing on that character's part of not really giving him much depth, other than, he's got a wife and a child and he really cares about him.
Yeah.
And he's from this ancient blood from yore.
That character, I think that might be one of my biggest problems with the film, is that character doesn't need to exist. Mortal Kombat has like 30 different characters. So why did you create this separate person? Cole, I believe, is Cole Young.
Yeah.
Why do you create this? We don't need to be grounded. We don't need something that brings the audience back in and who we can connect to. It's Mortal fucking Kombat. We want to see Sub-Zero. We want to see Liu Kang. That's what we want to see. That character completely fell flat for me. Made no sense.
So I didn't know this, but so he's not a character in the game. He's not a character in the lore. He's a brand new character they created for the film.
Yep.
And they didn't say why they decided to create a brand new character.
I was trying to look at that. The only thing I can think of is, the filmmakers are saying, well, the audience, the audience needs an avatar in the film, which I get for some movies. This is Mortal Kombat. We don't need that. We're good.
Well, if they have 30 characters, couldn't they make one of those other characters the avatar? Like, why do they have to bring someone in that's new? Something fresh, maybe? Something glittery and pretty for them to look at? Like,
if he did anything, then maybe that would make sense, but he didn't do shit throughout the entire movie. In the 97 one, Liu Kang was the main character. He's an OG character from the games. made a lot of sense. He's one of the more grounded, humanistic characters, if you can call anyone like in Mortal Kombat that. I mean,
Right.
he can still shoot fireballs and shit, but he's not a demon or anything. So.
Right.
So that worked. I thought that was effective in the '97 film, but like I said, I don't think we need a human avatar to like take us through the world of Mortal Kombat.
And I see your point there. I could see possibly why they would want to make that choice.
Yeah,
but they could have made that choice better had they given him some sort of any kind of depth than what they
literally
did.
Eddie. Yeah,
Any kind of depth, and maybe if they coached him in acting a little bit, or the dude said his lines so quickly and so matter of factly every time he had a chance to speak. I'm not sure if I've seen him. Is he like a professional fighter that has never acted before?
So he was in, and I'm looking this up. I don't know this off the top of my head. He was a stunt person on Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. He was in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He was in Deadpool 2. Oh, he was Shatterstar in Deadpool 2. Oh, okay.
Oh, Shatterstar.
Who? He like just... How does Shatterstar die in that movie? Was he fall into the electrical lines? I don't remember.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah. So, he's only been acting since 2006. And I don't want to shit on him too much. His name is Louis Tan.
I'm not pooping on him. It's the directors. Yeah. This is a director issue. This is not an actor issue, right? He did fine. His delivery was just so quick and fast, so matter of fact. There wasn't a lot of tonal change. His character was just flatline,
Flat. Yeah.
And again, it's a Mortal Kombat movie, so you're not really going to be putting the weight on the acting.
No.
So for me, it would be okay. Well, what's the action look like, right? Are the fight sequences awesome? Now there was definitely a few fight sequences that were entertaining. I felt the cinematography was boring. I really didn't feel most of the fight sequences were even that spectacular. Right? It was just kind of run of the mill for me.
Yeah. I was disappointed too. I mean, I think that the fights in this film are the best parts, but that's not saying much here.
I mean, they definitely did. They went ahead and they put in the token lines from the video game.
Yeah.
About, they had to sprinkle those in a little bit in there when they killed someone.
And you got the fatalities. Like it was gory. It was very violent.
Yeah, super violent, bloody as hell, which was cool, right?
Yeah.
I was into that, and they definitely had a couple of cool sequences in regards to the fights.
Yeah,
but the special effects weren't that great. What's the four-armed dude?
Goro.
Oh, that guy looked like shit. That guy did not. It was not.
I liked it okay.
No, he was okay, but he didn't look good. He didn't. I mean,
no.
Dude, you're in the age of CG where you could without trying too hard, you could look mostly real.
Yeah,
and he did not look real to me. He did not.
No,
look
he did
real
not.
To me at all. No.
Oh, I also really liked Cabal, which is the kind of android guy with the hooks and the he has two red eyes as well, and the mask and like the dreadlocks.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of weird looking in the game and kind of not threatening at all.
That's the super quick guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought he was pretty badass in the movie.
He was. I mean, it's, typical action movie. Usually the bad guys are way cooler and more interesting than the heroes. Heroes are kind of bland, and they make the bad guys super cool. And it's like, well, I want to root for the bad guy. The good guys are just dorks.
Well, the good thing is that we are going to talk about a show in which the bad guys are equally as cool as the good guys. But before we get into Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got any final thoughts on this movie?
No. I watched it. It beamed into my eyeballs.
Yep.
I enjoyed it for a grand total. Probably, if all the good parts that I liked about it, maybe 15 minutes.
Yep.
The rest of the time, I was wondering why,
Why have I done this to myself?
why does this exist? And there's going to be more. So it's going to be exciting. There's going to be more Mortal Kombat movies. Not
Yeah.
sure if it's going to be the same director, but I believe the main character said he was signed for another 4. So we should be looking forward to enjoying more of this schlock. So
Well, hopefully they figure stuff out. I mean, all the Marvel stuff wasn't spectacular when it first came out. So maybe they'll figure it out.
it was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
I'm trying to give Mortal Kombat the benefit of the doubt. God damn it.
Why?
I know. So everybody knows when Eb and I were setting out to record this one, we decided, okay, we have to watch everything twice. Watch the first time through, and then second time through, take notes. This is a little inside baseball, how these things get made. And we both texted each other, I don't think we need to watch Mortal Kombat twice.
Yeah, it wasn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I just didn't want to stab myself in the heart that many times.
Yeah.
Nor did I need to take many notes because there really wasn't much to say. It was pretty basic.
Yeah.
Could have used a little better acting, but I'm okay with that. To me, it was more visually. Like for a movie like this, I at least expect it to be, for the story to be pushed along visually in an interesting style. And I didn't find anything new or interesting in regards to that. So
yeah, it's unfortunate. This is up my alley. I love the franchise. So if you can't, I'm never probably going to watch this movie again. I might pop one of the fight scenes on YouTube once in a while if I want to.
Right.
And if I'm saying that, that means the movie kind of sucked. Because I should love it.
Not every movie can make the grade, unfortunately. So
no.
No.
Something I did love though is Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I thought the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier was amazing. I was really into it. How'd you feel about it?
Good for you, Bert.
Oh no,
I'm glad you're really into it.
Oh no. Oh no, we lost you.
No, I mean I enjoyed the series for sure.
Yeah.
Can't complain too much. I did like the last episode. However, you always expect some sort of surprise or some sort of, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen, to excite you a little bit. And there really wasn't much of that. Production value is great. I really loved Sam in the new Captain America outfit.
Amazing.
I think I even called it in our previous episode. It was like, was it just going to be a Falcon suit that's Captain Americaized? And that's exactly what it was, right?
Yeah.
Which was super cool, though. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I like how he took on the mantle of it and displayed the, I want to say ethics, but displayed what was really meant to be Captain America. And especially his last speech at the end to all the reporters, I really feel, that touched me. I shed a couple tears.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it, but there wasn't any gotcha moments, which I was hoping that there would be.
Yeah, Sharon Carter being the power broker was not a big surprise.
Yeah, 100%. I was about to say, we all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, it was a great, it was basically an action. It was pretty much action the entire episode. All the action was awesome.
When he's having that first fight with Batroc the Leaper, played by George St. Pierre, the former MMA fighter, and he throws his shield and it goes out the window and then he flies after it and catches it. I was like, talking about it now, I'm getting goosebumps. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, it was great. The fight sequences were great. The action was, Marvel knows how to do that, right?
Yeah. I thought it would have benefited from one more episode. Maybe in between the previous weeks and this one. Like a 7th episode. Mainly because I felt all the Sam stuff is great. I was very underwhelmed by Bucky's resolution. I'm glad he kind of found a family and stuff, but I didn't feel, I know he went and talked to the dad of the person he killed, but that all felt really rushed. and I would have liked more resolution with his demons, because I found all of that very interesting throughout the show. But it just kind of seemed like it all ended in a montage of him being happy, and it's like, could there have been some more there?
Probably, especially since they really targeted that in the beginning of the season. Him being in therapy, him trying to figure out how to get past his horrific mistakes in the past, and then just glossing it over in the end.
Yeah.
And then also I feel like they could have spent more time with the Flag Smashers and their backstories a little bit, and kind of delving into them as characters, because you didn't really seem to care about them too much. Like, they were out, trying to keep the world together. You get what they were after, but really their only emotional moment was when this person dies that they're all there for a funeral for.
Yeah.
But you really you're not feeling for these people, which I really feel like you should.
Yeah.
Out of anybody you should be feeling for is not Bucky, is not Sam, because we already know these guys. We know where they're coming from. We probably know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
But we have this whole new section of quote unquote bad guys, which they're really not, except they killed some people. So that's bad.
That is not great.
That's not great. They shouldn't do it, which makes them bad guys, but they were doing it for altruistic reasons. And I feel like they really didn't give that enough in the 6 episodes. I feel like 8 episodes probably would have been a better way to go, so they can just work out those issues, to give them a little bit more flesh. They have this main character who they kill off at the end. Like you said, Bucky really doesn't, they just kind of just like rush him to wellness.
Yeah.
Which he's not, he probably isn't well yet either, but they kind of rush that part. But those are, I guess, just minor problems with the show, I would say.
Oh yeah. Overall, I think as a whole, it's very successful, and its highs are really, really great, and its lows are, you could say, I wish they would have done this a little bit differently, but it's nothing that is a deal breaker to me in the way that the show went.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I would feel like I would watch it again.
Oh, totally.
I feel I'll watch the series again, much like I would watch WandaVision again.
Which did you like better out of the two, WandaVision or this?
WandaVision.
Me too.
Yeah, I like, but I like more of the magic stuff anyway.
Yeah,
I've never been a huge Captain America fan. I collected Marvel for a long time, but Captain America was not one of the comic books that I collected. Sure, he showed up in a few X-Men comic books that I collected, but he's like Superman. Like, I never collected Superman either. It's like, why do you want? He's too good. He's good as boring, right? You need people that have flaws, and Captain America doesn't have any flaws, really.
Yeah.
Superman, I mean, I know that DC has been trying to get Superman problems now because they realize he's boring. So they're like, okay, well, let's give him some problems so he's more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so WandaVision I liked, and I feel like probably I like the most of when Loki comes out. I feel like I'll probably like Loki better than either of those two. So
Loki looks really good. Very excited for that. One person we didn't talk about, and talking about the villains in the show, John Walker, our good old Cap. He was Cap for about 5 minutes. turned U.S. agent. I have to say, if I'm picking nits here, I didn't really like his resolution. I felt like they wanted us to like him by the end, and I was hoping he would just full on break bad and become. I wanted him to become another villain. So that was a little disappointing.
Just totally freak out and fall off a cliff, right?
Yeah.
Totally lose his cookies. He definitely seemed like he was going that direction, and I kind of feel like he is on that path. However, he did good. I mean, the thing is he wasn't necessarily a bad guy. But he freaked out. He took the super serum, couldn't hack it. His friend got killed, and so, but like any soldier or anybody who's been in war, he freaked out and wanted to kill the person that killed his friend. Right? Doesn't make him a bad person, but definitely makes him a conflicted person.
Yeah.
Right? And
Well,
he was
he did bash somebody's head in with a shield in front of people. So
he did, but he probably didn't realize they were there. Let's just be honest. Like he was in the red zone. Like
yeah,
he only knew they were there after he was done murdering somebody. Right? He's like, oh shit. Like maybe not the best choice.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like he is definitely going to be on once he shows up in whatever he's going to show up in next. He's going to be writing that line, right?
yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, Marvel set it up, and Marvel's always 5 steps ahead. So it's gonna. I'm gonna be curious to see how they use him going forward. I really like the actor and the portrayal. I thought was awesome. But yeah, I'm curious if they're gonna make him a villain at some point, or is he part of a new Avengers? Because you could tell they're putting together a new Avengers.
Oh, they're gonna do that.
Yeah,
I don't, you just got to wonder what organization he's working for. You don't even know the organization. The woman who's like, I'm going to hire you and you're going to be doing stuff, but what stuff and who does she represent? Right? We don't know that.
so we're talking about Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character. I have to look up her name because it is so complicated. Her name is La Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine, and I'm not even kidding.
That is awesome. And you said it so well, Bert. Well done.
Thank you. In the comic books, she deals with like Nick Fury and Shield, and she's just kind of this money person who works behind the scenes, and you don't really know where her allegiances lie. She kind of plays the field, and I loved Julia Louis-Dreyfus, so I loved her character. But yeah, I don't. It also felt kind of samey though. Her character and Power Broker, kind of the same thing, right?
I don't know. I mean, the power broker is a bad guy, right?
But she
I mean,
helped the good guys though.
for her, but for her own purposes,
Sure.
right? She did it because she knew she can gain power somewhere else, and it helped her with whatever because she can't. If she reveals herself, what is she gonna? She's gonna go to jail. Now
Yeah.
she's back in the U.S. and not only is she the power broker, but now she has a great job back in the U.S. too. So
Yeah.
she definitely played her cards right. What's the name of the character? Julie.
You want me? You want me to?
Yes. Say it again, please.
La Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine.
La Contessa.
Yeah.
I'll just
Gotta
go the easy route.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like she's a similar character. She probably does, but it also seems like she's out for the U.S. interest.
Yeah.
Despite maybe making not so kosher choices.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, she's definitely not a good guy, I wouldn't say. Also, yeah, she's probably working on behalf of the U.S. government.
Yeah, she's out for good old USA, but probably at any cost, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now she's got a super soldier. So
yeah, she has Cap, but not Cap. That is definitely going to be a conflict in future movies.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm excited. And I know US Agent. I feel like I've seen a couple of those conflicts anyway. So I mean, I really do enjoy them really following the conflicts as close as they can. I really do appreciate that about what Marvel has done with their shows and their movies. So
they, unlike Mortal Kombat, who decides, oh, we have to make this new human avatar so people can relate. Marvel's just saying, we're gonna throw all the nerd shit at you. You don't have to know who La Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine is. But if you do know who she is, that's a cool little, oh, I know that, but you don't have to. Either way. And Marvel's so good at this. By the end of everything, you're going to know who she is.
You are definitely going to know. And they're not going to pay an A-list actor to play such a bit role for like that.
No.
So she's definitely coming back at some point.
Yeah. And I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that having a black Captain America, all the stuff they did with Isaiah Bradford, man, that's got to be really powerful for people. I mean, I was emotional seeing it. I can't imagine being a African American youth or just any person of color. Now, this is huge. Captain America, the first Avenger, is a black man. That means something. It really does. Especially considering how big all these properties are, and how big a part of the zeitgeist they are.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I mean, again, like I think we probably both got emotional at the same point in the show,
Yeah,
because they're trying to highlight these things that our society has just swept under the rug for so long, and just trying like, yo, let's put it on the light and let's tackle this and let's be better. Let's be better for it. So I really appreciated that they took the time and the effort, and it's obviously indicative of the times that we're living in today.
yeah,
That's definitely affected the storyline. But that's great that they did. I mean, this is millions of people are watching these shows, and are you going to change anybody's mind? Probably not. But the fact that it's out there is very poignant.
yeah. Well,
Very meaningful.
I know you're not active on social media, but I mean, there is a subsect of trash humans who are very pissed off about this.
What? There's trash humans out there?
Yes,
I didn't know they existed. I
apparently
haven't
so.
been on social media for a couple of years now, so I kind of forgot that that they
You're probably
existed at all.
you're probably all the better for it. So overall thoughts on the show. I loved it. I will probably revisit again. They each episode was a mini movie. There were some parts better than others, but overall the thing, it was really consistent, well acted, well directed, well written. Only a few minor things I would tweak about it, but overall I loved this series. It was great.
I'll agree with you for the most part. Yes, I agree
Yeah.
with you for the most part. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again. I do give it two thumbs up
Two of these.
to these. I was talking to my friend Gavin about because I forgot to tell him that we had a show, and he's like, "What, you put it out there?" And I'm like, "Oh, I think I was kind of afraid because he's such a critic,
Yeah.
because I didn't want him to watch something that was horrible production value."
Sure.
But he asked me what the name of the show was, and at first I thought it was the Bert and Eb show, but then you named it the Eb and Bert show, which I feel very uncomfortable about. I don't know. I think you should switch that back.
You want me to be top billing? That's fine.
Yeah, I want you top billing. But his suggestion I thought was hilarious. And he's all, "Why don't you just call it Ebert?"
Just Ebert?
Just Ebert. Like a throwback to the Siskel and Ebert, but it's Ebert because it's both our names in one.
That's pretty funny.
And I'm like, I didn't even think about that.
I think once we get a little more cachet, once we build up a little bit, then we can do that. Just throwing something on YouTube called Ebert.
It's just Ebert. No, the Ebert show. Or
no.
Ebert goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just Ebert.
Yeah, I think we need a little more a little more cachet before we can get away with that. It's fucking hilarious though. Can it be Locke and Tessa Ebert?
Sure, why not? That'll actually a little bit more flair. I like a little flair, so
sure.
I'm into that. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else about the movie or Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think that wraps up this episode.
I think it does. I think we could look forward to whatever it is we're going to be watching next.
Oh, I have this. So, since there is no big picture, big tentpole movies coming out, Eb, do you want to do Thank God It's Friday, or do you want to do Tenet next week?
Oh, that's a tough one, dude. That's a tough one. I've seen both movies. I would like to do Thank God It's Friday. I would like to watch that movie again. I think I'm in the frame of mind that needs to watch that movie again.
Let's break it up. Let's break up the blockbusters. So everybody knows if there's a big blockbuster, me and Eb will talk about it. If there's not, though, we're going to give each other obscure-ass movies. And maybe some of them won't be obscure. Like, I could see us doing an episode about Big Lebowski. I'm always down to rewatch
definitely.
that.
Oh, definitely.
But we're going to do older films. So, and I think these are going to be really, really fun, especially for the ones that either you or I haven't seen. So I haven't seen Thank God It's Friday. I can't wait to watch this movie.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So that's going to be next week. We're going to talk Thank God It's Friday. And we'll just kind of do a check-in with whatever other media you're watching. That's fine too. So that's the episode. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. If you liked what you saw, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.